I'm sure you've heard it. You need to eat less. You need to eat better if you want to lose weight. But what the hell do you actually eat to lose weight? Like, literally what? Well, I'm going to get into some of that. But to answer the question, really, you can eat whatever the fuck you want. And this is why I'm not a big fan of strict meal plans or tracking all your macros to the exact gram, because you don't need that. Not to lose weight. Here's the thing about what to eat to lose weight. The only thing for sure that needs to be followed is a caloric deficit. If each day you're eating fewer calories than your body burns naturally through just existing and exercise and all that stuff. If the calories you consume are a bit under that, you will lose weight, and that's it. Now, part of this is if you sit at a desk all day, the amount of calories that your body's going to burn by default is going to be lower than someone else. Let's say an athlete or someone who goes to the gym very consistently. So if you're not a really active person, you just sit at your desk all day answering emails, your body probably burns between 1,800, 2,300 calories, something like that, depending if you're a man or woman or how tall you are, all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't matter if it's the leanest chicken in the world, the best salad in the world, or Oreos. If you're consuming fewer than whatever that calorie range is for you, you'll lose weight. In terms of actual mass, your body doesn't give a shit what you're eating as long as the calories add up. Now, that's not to say, hey, eat 1,700 calories of donuts and you'll be fine. You'll lose weight. You will lose weight, 100%. It's going to be way harder though because you're going to be a lot hungrier. You're going to feel like complete dog shit most of the time and have no energy. So I wouldn't recommend that. But mathematically, you could. And I don't say this to recommend, oh, eat whatever the fuck you want. Like, yes, have your choice, but don't indulge in the hedonistic food immediately. Don't go straight to deep fried Oreos. When I say you can eat whatever you want, I mean eat what you like. Eat what makes sense. Eat what's helpful to your goal within reason. You have a lot of options here. So when people say you gotta eat chicken breast, broccoli, and rice, that's it. That's the only way. Get fucked. Obviously, that's good. It's helpful, right? But you're not limited to those options. You have any option in the world. Whether you want to go for low carb, I wouldn't recommend that. High protein, I do recommend that. Low fat, gluten free, blah, 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 blah. None of that shit matters when it comes to the numbers of the calories. That's why you have so many options with what you can eat to lose weight. None of those really specific types of eating habits are going to matter if you don't stick to it, if you don't like it. Again, that's why I do not like restrictive meal plans, because, hey, what if the person doesn't fucking like it? Either they're going to stick to it and be unhappy, or they're not going to stick to it and do something possibly crazy. Okay, now for real, actually, what can you eat? What would I recommend? What do I eat? Now, remember when I was talking about the donuts, how you can lose weight eating just donuts, but I wouldn't recommend it because it's not really food. It's something that tastes good, but it doesn't provide your body with sustenance. It doesn't satisfy you. Besides mentally, of course. So I recommend foods that actually satisfy you, sustain your body. Basically foods that are high in protein or fiber. I don't subscribe to any specific diet per se. So when I recommend you Mission tortillas, the keto version, it's not because I say, oh, keto's great. I don't give a shit about that. I recommend those because the fiber that they have in them is a lot. It's like 50 to 60% of the fiber you need per day per tortilla. Now, look at the ingredients. That I think they have a bit too much in them. I'm like, not really sure what that is, but it doesn't have the wild shit that I like to stay away from, usually like high fructose corn syrup, monosodium glutamate, because those are basically just omega sugar and salt just for extra fun. So take this with a grain of salt, no pun intended. Check, see if that's good for you. The fiber is I feel like it's worth it though. It's a lot of fiber. Fruits have a lot of fiber too. Vegetables have a lot of fiber. Go crazy on apples. The reason I love apples is because not only do they taste good, but they're juicy. When you have all this munched up food and you get some liquid in there, it fills you up as well. I and here's the tricky thing with liquid. I don't normally like to drink my calories, and the reason for that is most drinks that are available are pretty high calories, some kind of juice or quote unquote coffee that have a couple hundred calories, or even soda. So if you're drinking those calories, you're gonna run into your calorie limit for the day real quickly. I think I saw a can of soda the other day. It was like 240. Like, what the fuck? You could eat like two apples, maybe three if they're small for that amount. So I don't prefer to drink my calories in terms of juice or soda. What I do recommend is maybe almond milk. It's pretty low calorie, 30 calories for 8 ounces. Kombucha is very low calorie. That big giant glass thing, it's like maybe barely 200 calories, and that'll last you days unless you go wild on that. And the juice that already exists in fruits and whatnot. Those are good because they're low calorie and the liquid kind of fills you up inside. That's why protein shakes and smoothies they're helpful as well. Not only do they have a bunch of protein, but they're also liquids. They just fill you up and sit in you in a way that makes you feel a bit fuller. For proteins, I recommend chicken. Beans have some protein too. You know what has protein in it. If for supplementation as well, I recommend cassava over basically anything because it tastes fucking great. It's kind of a meal replacement, but it's got 26 grams of protein per serving, so it's basically protein powder for me. And what I also do, and this is something you gotta be careful with your protein shakes, do what you're gonna do. Put all the stuff inside, blend it, then put a bit of oats in there, whatever kind you want. Put it back in the blender, but for like 2 or 3 seconds, just so it gets mixed up, maybe sliced a little bit, but not completely shredded. Then leave that in your fridge. And you come back, those oats are going to be a little, I don't want to say soggy because it's not really appealing, but they'll be a bit softer. So when you drink that, it's gonna be nice. It's almost like drinking oatmeal, but not quite as thick. And personally, I love that. So I recommend that if you want to feel really full and like you're not just drinking some kind of liquid. It's like something of substance that's going in and sustaining you. So that's what I like. Let's get into busting, discrediting, killing some myths. Myth 1. You need to eat 6 small meals a day to boost metabolism. When you're talking about calories, the frequency has like nothing to do with it. You can eat once per day. You can have a huge ass meal per day and it'll accomplish the same thing. You want to increase your metabolism, become more active. Myth number 2. Carbs make you fat. Fat makes you fat. You need keto, paleo, vegan, carnivore, blah, blah, blah. Anything can make you fat if you eat too much of it. This is why I absolutely hate that the macronutrient of fat has the same name as what we call excess body weight that we don't want. It's very fucking confusing for people. You can say dietary fat if you want. You can say lipids, but people will be like, what? So it's fucked up. I really don't like, I do not like the whole labeling of fat. It's gotten a bad rep. Anything can make you fat. Anything can help you lose weight. The reason why most people say carbs make you fat is because most of the carbohydrates people consume are in calorie dense. I don't know. They're high in calories, but not dense in nutrition. I'm talking, again, like donuts and shit, croissants, certain kinds of bread. You eat them, there's a lot of calories, but they don't really fill you. So people think, oh, I'm eating a bunch of them because they don't fill me and I'm getting fat. Yeah, it's because you're eating stuff that's not ideal for you, not because fucking 1/3 of macronutrients are making you fat. Same for fat. Now, yeah, fats have 9 calories per gram as opposed to carbohydrates and proteins that have 4 calories per gram. So yes, you need to be a little more careful if there's something that has a lot of fat in it, but fat by itself does not make you fat. It's a macronutrient like the others. So as long as you're eating them in a way you're keeping track of in some way, you're not just gonna become fat. You don't need keto, paleo, vegan, whatever. The only reason you would do any of this is if you have some kind of belief system around it, like the vegan stuff. You don't want to consume animal stuff or whatever it is. If you're talking purely from a sustenance point of view, it doesn't fucking matter. Your body doesn't really care when it comes to the weight loss itself. Myth 3. Just cut 500 calories daily and lose exactly 1 pound per week. I used to say this for a long time, and I actually still do say this because it's kind of easier to get the point across. Have a consistent deficit per day, and then per week you'll lose, you know, a certain amount. But this isn't always necessarily the case for people. If you're starting out and you're attempting to lose or drop 500 calories out of your budget every day, just because humans are imperfect, you might actually be losing more weight at the beginning, maybe less because you don't know what you're doing. And same when you're getting really, really used to keeping track of your food and everything, it might become a bit harder to do. You might have to stick to around 200, 300 calories instead, because cutting down 500 would be fucking not fun at all. Sometimes your body, adapts to the way that this whole thing works. Like, not everyone is the exact same, but the main point is if you are consistently dropping your caloric intake over week by week, it's gonna drop somewhat consistently too. Now, if that changes, guess what? Change it again, keep it consistent, and then the drop should be consistent as well. That's why I'm gonna keep saying 500 per day, you lose a pound a week, because just the simplicity of it makes sense. Doesn't always work out that way, but if you try to do that, it will work out, period. Myth 4. You have to eat clean, organic, whole foods to lose weight. God damn it, you should. But you don't have to. You can eat trash and lose weight. I wouldn't recommend it. You're gonna feel like trash, but you can lose weight eating trash. It's all about the calories. Again, please have some common sense and don't eat trash every day, but mathematically, you can. Keep that in mind. If you can have a good food trash ratio that works for you. Final myth. High protein diets damage your kidneys, bones, and organs. What the fuck is this talking about? Yeah, I'm not sure how to respond to this. Get a lot of protein. It's pretty good. Your body will love it. What messes a lot of people up, especially people who, they work in tech, they're at their desks all day. They want to maximize, they want to optimize this kind of stuff. So they're looking for, perfect diet, perfect eating frequency, perfect types of foods, perfect timing. And then because life isn't perfect and people aren't perfect, it just doesn't fucking happen. And then they do nothing instead. So quit that shit. Don't worry about most of that stuff. Just focus on the calories to begin with. First and foremost, focus on what you eat to begin with. That's why I recommend to people before they start tracking calories necessarily in earnest, just track a day or a week, whatever you can do, of what you eat right now. That knowledge will be absurdly helpful for you. By Friday, you're like, looks like 1/3 of my calories are from Starbucks. I wonder if I could allocate those calories elsewhere. If you're aware, you'll make more informed decisions, obviously. So I recommend that first. And then when you get more into it, make sure you're tracking well. As in, don't be so lax about it, because then you're going to be inaccurate. If you're okay with kind of a messy weight loss, or in terms of not knowing exactly what's happening, but stuff is happening, just not at a rate that you are aware of, then, have fun with that. But make sure before you say, oh, it's not working, that you're keeping track properly, because then you'll know as best you can. All right, let's get into some numbers here. As a reminder, about 500 calories. If you want to be safer, you can bump it up to about 700 calories less per day. And by less, I mean under your maintenance amount, will give you about a pound a week of loss. Now, remember, you can lose less than a pound a week. Keep that in mind. You're in this for the long term. So don't think, I need to lose a pound a week. I need to lose 52 pounds this year. You can lose like 20 or 30 pounds in the year if you want to lose less per week and, have your day-to-day intake look a bit different. It's fine. 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight you have would be pretty great. I think that's fairly kind of hard to achieve depending what you're eating. But if you adjust your way of eating to match this, it'll be pretty good long term. But What you can also do is instead focus on 1 gram of protein or 1.2 per kilogram of body weight you have to start off with. So for me, that'll be getting 70 something grams of protein per day, which is not as hard as getting, 100s, 180, 170 something. So just keep that in mind. Again, don't reach for the numbers in the hardest way possible to begin with. Try to do something good, sustainable for you first. 67% is apparently the percentage of days that you need to track your food to lose 10% of your body weight. I don't know over what period of time. But the point is, you don't need to track perfectly every single food every single day. That's ideal, of course, but you just need to do that most. You need to do these good things most of the time, and then you'll reap the benefits. So it doesn't matter what kind of perfect meal plan you're on, what kind of perfect diet you're on, whatever it is. If you can't even stick to that, if you're not happy, it's just not going to last. So because the calories are all that matter in terms of weight loss, quality of food is good for everything else. So keep that in mind. If you want to craft a ratio of like pretty good foods and then you get some trash here to make your brain happy, if that's what works for you, you stay in their calorie range, do that. If you're thinking, yeah, but what about the trash I'd be eating, every day or so? I don't know. What the fuck were you eating beforehand? Probably mostly trash, right? So this is an improvement. Worry about that. Worry about improving, not being perfect, because you're never going to be perfect. Just be better. And one thing I can recommend too for the eating is to not eat ultra processed foods often, because they are similar to what people like to blame carbs for. They are foods that don't really fill you. They taste good, but give you almost no nutritional value whatsoever. And you can have your Pop-Tarts if you want. Just know you will still be hungry afterwards, and you took out a big chunk of your budget. So if that's worth it for you, have fun, but keep that in mind. Those kinds of things are going to work against you a lot, especially when you're down more in your body weight and you need to be more you need to ration your intake a bit better. Then that's going to be more important, but do a ratio that works for you. I'll leave you with this main tip too. Drink a bunch of water. Sometimes you're not hungry, you're just thirsty. And like I said about the liquids kind of filling you in there, water's got no calories. It's pretty good. Drinking a bunch before you eat as well will help you not be as hungry. So try all that. Try tracking your food first, just to see what you eat, and then start adjusting as you see fit for your goal. Use MyFitnessPal. Use chronometer, however you say it. Use MyNet Diary, whatever it is. Just remember, you can eat basically whatever you want to lose weight, but you kind of have to know what it is you're eating. So you can make adjustments to fit what you want into that. Even if you eat at restaurants, you can usually track that in some way. MyFitnessPal is a pretty good database. Or ask AI, hey, I ordered this and this and that. I've done that with Chipotle before. Hey, I ordered the brown rice, pinto beans, lettuce, tomato, corn, chicken bowl with this salsa. How many calories is that? Probably. And they give me that. Now, obviously, that differs depending on how big of a fucking scoop the workers actually use, but it'll help. It's better than saying, well, I don't know. So keep that in mind. You can have help. So get that going in a way that's comfortable, and you can make it sustainable. Just remember, you can eat whatever the fuck you want. Just don't be dumb, or else you're not going to make it. All right, leave a comment saying what you thought you absolutely needed to eat to lose weight. And also subscribe, or I'll steal all your fucking Oreos. All right, see you next time.